worlds we are drawn together. To be in this place we will grow together. Together we are one. Together we are whole. Together we are one. Send my love over the mountains. Send my love over the sea. Send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. Send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. Send my peace over the mountain. Send my peace over the sea. Send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Send my love over the mountains. Send my love over the sea. Send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me, and it returns, it returns to me. As I give, I receive. As I give, I receive. And it returns to me.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody tonight?
Great.
Getting a little rain out there. My name's Christina Veronica, and I'm going to sing some for you tonight. We'll start out with a song that we all know. We welcome you. Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. We welcome you.
Let go,
Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here, spreading love, joy, and cheer. Come on in.
Come on in.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome you. Come on in.
Come on in.
We We're glad you're here, spreading love, joy, and cheer. Come on in.
Come on in.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome. We welcome you. Come on in.
Come on in.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome. We welcome you.
Come on in.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome you.
Come on in. We welcome. We welcome. We welcome you. Come on in.
Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. It's an evening without Reverend Sunshine and sunny.
That's right.
But we have Reverend Katherine, is that right? I'm sure it'll be a beautiful night.
Let's sing our reveal song.
Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, love is what I see. Reveal the love in me. Come on, sing with me. Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. Every time I open up,
Peace is what I see.
Reveal the peace in me. Sing joy. Reveal, reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me. Reveal, reveal a love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, love is what I see. Every time I open up, peace is what I see. Every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me.
And so it is with a heart that is full and open, just revealing this heart, this loving heart where I find God. I just open my heart to this evening service, to Reverend Catherine's message, to the song, to the upliftment, to the blessings that we all receive. And I know that this is all God and so good. So just be in the heart, feel the joy, the love. Open the ears, dive in. I am so grateful for being here this evening, so grateful for each one of you. So grateful to know that this is all a part of Spirit. And so it is. I want to thank you, Christina, Veronica, and Jim, and Cole. So anyway, I chose a reading tonight from Joel Goldsmith's book. And it's the book called The Gift of Love. And so I just invite you to just close your eyes if that feels good to you and just drink in these words from Joel. The only truly spiritual life possible is lived by keeping our thoughts and deeds in at-one-ment with the law of love. Not a sentimental, emotional kind of love, not a nonsensical, wishy-washy kind of love. It must be the love that does unto others as we would have them do unto us. That is all there is to real love. Love is not sentimental attachment to mankind. Love is a law. Love is a mode of conduct, an attitude. Love does not come to us. Love is within ourselves, and we must open out a way for it to escape. Love is something that we let flow out from us, just as we open a way for truth to flow out from us. And so it is. Now I want to tell you tonight that Reverend Katherine is in the house. And she has a message tonight called "The Call is Coming from Inside the House." And so let's welcome her up.
Thank you, Linda. My dear friend and partner in crime, Linda Light, our master practitioner. We've been traveling along this journey for about 15 years together now, so she's pretty amazing. I'm moving this. Is that okay? I can do that? I'm not supposed to do that? I can do it. Okay, good. Okay. Well, I don't want to trample on anybody's toes. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here. We're Reverend Sunshine and Sunny are taking a little bit of time. The Reverend Sunshine is up with the Centers for Spiritual Living Ministers are having a conference, and she's spending time up there with all the ministers, and asked me a while back if I'd like to come and speak, and I said yes. I jumped at the chance to be able to be back with you. I was with you months ago, and I've been trying to get back ever since, so it was an honor for me to be asked and then say yes to her. And I thought about bringing my dog, but the truth is Buster is a little bit bigger than, what's the dog's name? Mellow Day. And every time I talk, he barks a lot, so I figured maybe he wouldn't be a really good person to bring. So I left him at home. So Reverend Sunshine is in the middle of this spooky month of her theme that is scary, all right. Right, so that's the theme for the month as we're going through October here. And I'll tell you, I just finished today decorating my spooky room with my 5-year-old. She's everybody. It seems like everyone is in this awareness of the fun of Halloween and moving into that spooky place. This is going to be so perfect for my talk. I can't even tell you how perfect it's going to be. Just give me a minute. You'll be with me in 1 second. And so I was actually hanging spider webs today and putting up spooky lights and lanterns and things as I was preparing to come. I felt like I was working, that I was actually getting ready to come and do this. And so I was so excited when Reverend Sunshine said, just think of the scariest movie you can think of and do a spiritual talk about it. And I said, okay. So I kept thinking about it. And the truth is, I don't like scary movies. I hate them. I hate October. I hate when all of those scary movie commercials are on TV. I'm trying to protect not only my little one, but my own conscious awareness from those scary things. And it seems like in the last 10 years, things have gotten scarier. I mean, they're just so horrific, and even on TV, the commercials. So this is a month where I try to protect myself from that. But then when she said, well, this is what we're doing, I said, all right, well, let me think about it for a minute. And what came to me was this movie, and it's actually from 1979, and it's called When a Stranger Calls. Anybody hear this? Do you remember this? Okay, so yeah, this is one of the scariest movies ever. So just picture this. It's a dark and stormy night. I think you can get that far with me, right? A dark and stormy night. And the babysitter is at home with the children. I'm not going to go too far, don't worry. Okay, so the babysitter's at home, the children are sleeping, she's all by herself, and the phone rings, and there's heavy breathing. She doesn't think much of it, she hangs it up. And this is a young Carol Kane, by the way. Picture big eyes, sweet young face. So the phone rings again, and continually starts to get spookier conversations. And finally he says, "Go and check the children." And so she gets sufficiently freaked that she calls the police and says, "I'm getting harassing phone calls." And so then the call comes again, and she's so freaked out, she yells at the phone, "Stop calling me!" And the police officer says, "Listen, we traced the call. It's coming from within inside the house. Dun, dun, dun!" You know, and there's this moment where the camera goes in on her eyes. It's very Hitchcockian. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's correct. Okay, so here's this moment of terror, and Carol Kane is brilliant at it, you know, that you can just read it on her face that, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, and she's in that moment, and every single one of us, I bet, could have had an experience of what it feels like to have terror hit you. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, your hands go sweaty, you immediately catch your breath, right? You can't move. Oh my God, what am I going to do now, right? And it hits you like a ton of bricks. And so the call is coming from inside the house. What do? So anyways, what happens in the movie happens in the movie, and I'll encourage you to watch it. It's probably on Turner Classic Movies this month. But the idea of this is, here you are in that safe place, and she's the one who is the keeper of the safety, the one who takes care of the children, right? She is in the home that is this safe sanctuary of comfort, and all of a sudden, she has the experience of something coming into that place. Now, the truth is, everything comes from within our realm of safety, from the inside out. And so if we're going to talk about fear, and we're going to talk about faith, we're going to talk about all of these things that we experience, they all come from inside. And so our idea on this is that it doesn't matter what the outside experience is. We're going to look at how fear pops up in us, but it's not about what's happening. It's not about the phone call. It's not about the experience that is happening in front of us. It's our own reaction to it. And so our call to be who we've come here to be, and our call to be from in that place of fear, both come from the same place. It's inside our own presence. And I know last week, Reverend Sunshine, if you were here, and if you weren't here, I'll encourage you to get on the website and watch it. But Reverend Sunshine was talking about how our spiritual practices support us in moving through these times of fear and trauma and difficulty. So she talks about visioning, and she talks about spiritual mind treatment, and she talks about meditation, and she talks about all of these things that set the foundation for us. And what I want to talk about tonight is taking that a step further, looking at fear as that motivating factor. Now, Mary Mannon Morrissey, who's a popular New Thought teacher, has a teaching about this. She talks about a child within a home. And when that child knows that their mom's in the house, there's a level of comfort and relaxation that comes over them. Now, that mom could be on the other side of the house, playing on the computer, doing whatever they're doing, in the kitchen, somewhere else, in the shower, and the child could be completely separate from them. But as long as that child knows their mother's in the house, there's a deep sense of comfort. Now, when the mom's not in the house, that child has a completely different experience of what it's like to be just present in that home. Now, the house isn't different. Nothing has changed other than the awareness of their mother being there or of not being there. And so I think of that as the same as when we think about the divine, because the divine truly is the mother presence. We can't put our safety, our security on something outside of ourselves. It's all from within. And so when we do those spiritual practices and have that feeling of connection, we are guided and supported in feeling that comfort and surrendering to that. There's a comfort in knowing that we are sourced and supported, right? There's a comfort in knowing that there's this presence that wants the best for you. There truly is nothing and no one against us. And it's only in our own mind that these ideas pop up from. We have this amazing creative tool called the imagination. It's amazing. And it gets us in trouble so often, right? Because what we're afraid of is not half as bad as it really is going to be. But in our mind, I'll tell you, and in my mind, it gets pretty bad. Because I have this imagination that when it goes unchecked, it creates scenarios that you would not believe. And these are the things that we should be right. This is fiction. I mean, if we could get into the minds of people, this is some really incredible fiction that could be created from this, you know? But the idea is when we are not conscious that our imagination creates these scenarios, it brings this block for us to even walk into an experience that might be uncomfortable. And so we try to create these safe little bubbles around ourselves and stay small. We stay small because it's more comfortable, because it's easier, because I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to get hurt. Sometimes it's a challenge for us to be vulnerable in our life because we could get hurt. And I'm afraid of what that's going to feel like or what it's going to look like. My daughter has started kindergarten, and I'll tell you, two things started way too soon. Two things. One of them was on the third day of kindergarten, she was sitting on my lap getting ready for the bell to ring to go in, and all of a sudden she leapt off my lap and started running after a boy. I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "It's my new game. It's called Chase Henry." I was like, "Who's Henry?" She's like, "I don't know, that kid." I was like, "Is he in your class?" "No. I just like to chase Henry." I was like, okay, no, that's a talk for another day. But the second thing that she came home with in the second month was that she was afraid to do something in front of somebody else, in front of her girlfriends. She was afraid to, I forgot what it was. She was afraid to hug her dad, her father, when he was dropping her off, and to be seen doing it. And I said, ooh, we got to work on that one right now. And that starts that early. We have these experiences that train us that it's not comfortable to be vulnerable or to be who we are in just freely. And I'll tell you what, that's what we're supposed to do. The divine wants to be expressed fully as each of us, as who we are and who we've come here to be. It is not going to sit and allow us to just half express, kind of be me, kind of let that happen. God doesn't like that. And so you know what it does? It creates situations for us to grow in. And that's when we create these situations that bring us into a place of stretching and growing. And you know how you're in one of those? Because you're afraid. The call, which is the same call to magnificence, is coming from inside the house. It's coming from within you to express who you are in these different areas. And so the thing that scares you the most is the thing you're supposed to do first. It really is. It's a signpost for your magnificence, for your expression, for who you've come here to be. Oh, and there's this great quote from one of my favorites, Pema Chodron. She says that fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. So it's a signpost that tells you you're getting in the right direction. If there's an area that you're being called to stretch in, that's where you're supposed to move. And sometimes we like to move away from it. We move into a place of explaining to ourselves why it's better not to do it, why we shouldn't do it. And our brains are really smart. They can come up with step-by-step plans as to why it's the most balanced, why it's the most reasonable, why this is the craziest idea that I should ever do. And yet your heart and your soul and your being is not going to let you not do it. It has to be done. And so there's a couple of ways of doing this. We awaken to the truth of who we are. You know, we have the foundation set of understanding that it's not just us that's operating here. Everybody in this room is here because we have an understanding and an awareness that there is something greater than we are that's operating in this life. Correct? Give me a nod, right? Yes, so we can start from that place that I call this presence God, this essence, this spirit, and it is a creative force that pours itself forth in every experience. If you look at what happened today, the clouds opened and the rain came. It didn't just rain a little. Sometimes that happens in Southern California. Sometimes it just piddles on us, right? It did not. It opened, those clouds opened and dumped on us, you know? And it was like Spirit was just pouring itself forth. And as someone who lives a number of miles from where the fire was on Sunday, I'm really grateful for this. I'm blessing this rain, and I'm really grateful for it. But when you look at life happening, we look all around us, and God doesn't just do things little. It doesn't just do a little bit of life here. It does life. It expresses fully in every way, completely. And that's what it's wanting to do through you in every area, in your relationships, in your work, in your families, in your creative expression, in everything. Spirit pours itself forth through you. The founder of religious science, Ernest Holmes, says, "The one who can throw himself with a complete abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward." I'm going to say it again. The one who can throw himself with a complete abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. That's how God is. It throws itself with abandon into being. And so, if the divine is doing it, why aren't we? Why aren't we? Because we're afraid. We're afraid of our greatness. We're afraid of what it means when we step into our power. Oh, come on, I'm tired of that. Are you tired of that? I'm tired of that. Oh, I don't want to hear that anymore. Each of us is this divine, precious expression. I love my work. I get to sit with people in class and in counseling and just moving through the center. And I love meeting people and hearing their stories. Everyone has a magnificent life expressing itself through these experiences of our lives. And it's just trying to break us open. It's just trying to come out, and we need to give it a space. We need to give it an opportunity to support us. All nature, Ernest Holmes says, all nature rises to support the freedom of the individual, that it may unloose its own energy. God wants to express itself as each of us, and it moves mountains for us. It brings things together. It changes the outside world. But when we're waiting for the outside world to reflect our peace, when we're waiting for the outside world to make it safe for us, we're going to be waiting for a whole long time. It doesn't happen. It has to come from the inside out. We have to start from the inside first. And so how do we do this? How do we step into this place of allowing Spirit to support us? I always leave you with a couple of steps. I don't like to just say, go do it. There's some pathways here. There's some things to try. So once we start having a spiritual practice, like Reverend Sunshine talked about, having some time in the silence, trying to get through our mind chatter so we can see what the truth of who we are is, really. Doing our treatment work to create what it is that we're wanting in our life. Seeing a practitioner if there's something that we just can't get a feeling of or a handle on. Doing our visioning, all of those things, that's the foundation of it. But my suggestion is this: be bold. Be bold. Take that step. When something happens and we are faced with that shocking news, that choice, that moment where we could step forth or run, take a step. Take a stand for who you are. And it often takes just one step. And then what happens is the divine presence floods in to support you. And if we think of all of these horror movies and all these scary movies, something always happens, right? So they turn around, and then there's the person who's there. One of my favorite is Sleeping with the Enemy. You know, when at the end of Sleeping with the Enemy, when the woman is looking, she's alone in her house, and then things start to be off a little bit. The hand towels are moved, and the things are rearranged, and you know someone's in that house, and she's like, what's happening? And you're like, get out of the house, you know? And she turns around, and there he is, the big bad boogeyman, whatever it is. She has a choice. She steps forth, and then what happens? The really cute neighbor shows up next door, you know? And then, of course, he gets knocked out, and she ends up stepping forward and really taking care of it, and I love that. But the spiritual principle of this is that when we allow spirit to move, it moves. So we take that step in boldness, and whatever that means to you, to be bold in your life. And what happens is the courage of the divine rises from within you. Courage is a spiritual quality. It's a quality of God. It's a way of being. But it takes us engaging in it to allow for it to rise within us. And when that happens, whatever we're afraid of disappears. Because it's not the thing we're afraid of. It's the experience of being afraid that we're afraid of. Right? And so as we are able to start to understand who we are, we can't think this away. You can't think away fear. I wish we could, because we're all very smart people. We could think it away. We can't. We can learn how it works. We can understand it. We can learn to recognize it. But that moment of shock is a subconscious reaction. I do not think I'm afraid and my heart starts beating. My heart starts beating and my skin starts to crawl and the hairs on my neck stand up. At the same time, I'm aware I am afraid. It's instantaneous. And so our spiritual practice and our understanding of how this works goes together to allow for us in that moment to open a new pathway. It's here to allow us to be great, to experience the magnificence that we've come here to be. We can try to deny it, we can try and push it away, we can try and ignore it. It's still going to be there. But when we learn to dance with it, when we learn to tango with our fear, when we learn to acknowledge its truth and allow it its voice, it's going to point us in the direction of our freedom, of who and what we've been called to be. I had an experience of this a number of years ago, and I will never forget this. On 9/11, everybody knows where they were on 9/11, but I had a personal thing happen on 9/12. My beloved uncle, who I'd lived with, who I feel was an angel sent just for me in this life, called me. He was 80, and he called me and said, Kathy, I got something to tell you. And he's the only one who can call me Kathy. He was the only one who could call me Kathy. And he has this lovely southern accent. He said, well, they tell me today I've got a brain tumor. And I've got to go and have surgery. And I'm just calling to let you know. And so I had been very close with them. I was living here. They were living in Florida. And anytime something had happened, I had been on a plane to be there to help take care of them. My aunt had gone through cancer and a couple of times, and I went down and lived with them and helped them through it. And the planes weren't flying. It was September 12, 2001. The planes weren't flying. I said, Uncle Nick, I can't come. I can't come. What am I going to do? I can't come. It'll take me 4 days to drive there. I can't come. And he said, you don't need to come. I'll be fine. And so we talked about it, and I said, Uncle Nick, are you afraid? He's having major brain surgery. I said, are you afraid? And he said, and this is my point, he said, well, Kathy, I got to tell you this. When I was stationed in the Air Force in the Aleutian Islands off Alaska, every day we took off in a plane on a sheet of ice. And every night we came back and landed on that sheet of ice. And he said, and I never knew if that plane was going to make it off that ice or if it was going to land on it. He said, I never knew. And every day that I was there, I didn't know if it was my last. And he said, I've learned to live my life like that. And so, no, I'm not afraid, he said. He said, I know God is calling in its own perfect way. And so I think of that when I get stuck. That's my story that I think of when something fearful shows up in my life. I think of those planes landing on sheets of ice in the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. And then I remember all of the people who are doing courageous and bold things in their life every day that are small and tiny. We each have our own battles. We each have our own experiences. We are each called to express ourselves in new ways, in different areas. And I think of those people who are doing the courageous thing in the moment. And I'm inspired. I'm inspired to know God expressing as powerfully as it can be in my life, and I know that it can express in each of our lives. And so let's take this within into our meditation and see, where are you being called to be bold? Where is Spirit calling you to allow for its courage to guide you into a greater expression of who you've come here to be? And so take a nice deep breath. Get into a comfortable position. And I'll invite you to take a nice, slow, deep breath in. And just release it. And again, another nice, deep breath in. And allowing this gentle rain to guide us into the inner realm, bringing our attention to the center of our being. And just ask, what magnificent way of being wants to be expressed as me? In what way can I reveal the magnificence of God?
dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert, and the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. And peace spread over the land. And peace spread over the land.
And so taking a collective breath, and just allowing this beautiful sound of spirit remind us that it does nothing small. Spirit pours itself forth in its fullness, in its allness, in its power, in its presence. In each experience, in each situation, simply that divine perfection, revealing itself as wholeness and as love and as light and as creativity, as joy, as peace. It is ever sourcing and supporting each of us, for we are one in it. There is no separation. There is nothing other than this infinite presence making itself known as its magnificence through each of us. And so I know in this moment, for each person here, that there is an opening, a deepening in this journey of unfolding our individual freedom, freedom of expression of who we have come here to be, freedom of expressing and sharing our heart openly and freely, freedom in bringing forth that beautiful expression that we know as this life and this world through our thoughts, through our words, through the creation of our life. And I know that each goes guided and guarded and supported. And as we bring forth this truth, it is revealed as the magnificence of our life. And so any moment of our breath being caught, of feeling that experience of fear simply fades as we step forth in boldness and courage as that divine presence of God. And then the winds blow forth, nature rises, and our freedom is expressed. And so I celebrate this and I honor this, and I know it to be so. And with a grateful heart, overflowing with the divine gifts of God, I give great thanks and surrender my word, knowing all is well, for God is here. And so it is. Amen. Beautiful. Thank you, Jim. That was wonderful. That was on the slide, too, didn't you? You didn't play that plan, did you? I didn't think you did. He's wonderful. Can we give some love to Jim Bianchi, please? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love working with you. I love working with you. Okay, so now I have to remember what we're doing now. Okay, so this is our time of conscious giving. So I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward, and I'm going to invite everyone to take your gift and to hold it on your heart. Here, this is a time when we have the opportunity to participate in this divine offering. As we know, what we put our attention on, where we put our presence, expands and grows, and this is a very beautiful service, a beautiful community. This is a beautiful offering here, and we want to see it expand. And so I'm going to invite you to infuse this in this moment with your love and with your light. And join with me as we bless it. Simply knowing, I'm going to invite you to visualize with me and know that this offering, this gift goes forth into this community and out into the world, sharing this love, this light, this knowing, this teaching as a beacon unto all those who can be served by it. And so I know that as we give, it moves into our experience, allowing us to participate in this experience of flow, that it comes back and serves and supports us in its own divine way. And so infusing this gift, it simply is the gift unto the world. And so with a grateful heart, I bless it, I honor it, and I celebrate it. And I celebrate each person who has come this evening to share of their own light in their own way and these divine gifts. And so I bless it, honor it, and allow it to be. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Great. Christina Veronica, and I'm going to get out of the way.
Yeah. So as you give, you receive, and we receive, Christina.
So I'm going to do a song that I wrote, and it's called Love Every Day. It's actually about the sunshine, but, oh well. It'll still work.
Sun is shining, shining just for you. And all you have to do is let the sun in, 'cause it's shining for me and you. I say the sun is shining, shining just for you. And all you have to do is let the sun in, 'cause it's shining for me and you. And when your troubles start to bring you down, life will surprise you when you spread your light around, yeah. And all you have to do is open up your heart and let your light shine through. Oh, the sun is shining, hey, yeah, shining just for you. And all you have to do is let the sun in, 'cause it's shining for me and you. I say the sun is coming your way, hey, yeah. So open up your window and love every day. I know sometimes it seems so hard to do, but when you let go, your beauty shines right through, yeah. And all you have to do is open up your heart and let your light shine through. Come on, clap your hands with me. The sun is coming your way, hey, yeah. So open up your window and love every day. I say the sun is coming your way. Open up your window and love every day, yeah, yeah. Blow the blues away, hey, hey. Live in a big, big way now. And love every day, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Love every day, I say. Love every day, I say. Love every day, I say. Hey, hey, hey. Do da da do da do da do da. Do da da do da do da do da. Love, love now. Love, yeah.
Christina, Veronica. I feel like Sunny and Sunshine are still here. We're honoring them. Thank you. That's great. Okay, good. Oh, this is my favorite part. All right, so does anyone have anything they want to share this week? Anything that came up from either the talk or that's coming up from your week, or anything you'd like to share with the group? This is really fun. Oh, great. Here you go. You got to stand up, though. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Katie.
You got to say like.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I really enjoyed your talk. It helped me so much because I was today faced with a situation where I got so full of fear, but I knew, and it's with work, and then like the next step in the evolution of my work, and I was like, okay, and I just went and took a nap instead of doing my work. But it was fear, and it really helped me to hear you say that, this happens, and it's just going on to the next greater good.
Yes.
It was very beneficial.
Good.
So thank you for your talk.
Great. And I think naps are a spiritual practice too, by the way, but, absolutely. Okay, anybody else? Oh, Bruce.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Most of my life, I've had these fears that come up, and I don't know where they're from. They're just like a dark cloud. I used to have an identity to it, but I've been working on this identity, and it's kind of just becoming a dark cloud, and it came up to me today. It's just like a black cloud coming over my head, and it was a terrible feeling. I couldn't identify where it was. It just was there, and I thought, this is just my imagination doing this. My belief system is allowing me to believe could be something other than the perfection of God in my life. So I turned to God, as I do all the time, and I said, look, I'm going to surrender to you because I can't handle this. I want you to take care of it. And that's what I really want to have. And of course, it went away instantly. And I thought, wow, this is just that easy, isn't it? And it never used to be that easy. It used to be terrible, these dark fears that I would have. I have no idea what they were. But that was really a nice experience to have. So thank you.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. My goodness. It's wonderful when we turn it over, when you can just, and I believe in having that kind of relationship with God where you say, hey, hey, I need help with this, let's talk about it, and allow it to respond to you, and it will do that. Okay, anybody else? We have room for time for one more. There you go.
Well, I was doing yoga. I've been doing yoga for quite some time. And about 3/4 of the way through the class this last week, these tears were just coming and coming, and I was like, what is this, And yet I heard inside my being, just allow it, just be with it. So the class ended, and I took off straight for home and took a nice bath and breathed, because I know how to do that. And I was breathing and breathing. And I said, just God, show me what this is. What is this? And I had no idea that the voice said to me very clearly, the only pain there is the pain you hang on to. And I went, whoa. So where is that? I went, well, what pain am I hanging on to? And then it was just like a domino of showing me those places inside of myself and in my life that I'd still hung on to. And it was fascinating. And the tears were there, and I just loved myself through it and knew that God was showing me it's time to let it all go. And it was so wonderful, and I'm so grateful. So,
Wow. That's big. That's big. Thank you. There's a continual deepening in the understanding that there's no one and nothing against you, that everything in our life is geared toward our freedom. So these situations that come up, these feelings, these emotions, when they start to come in, it's okay to interact with them because they're trying to reveal something to you. We can't be afraid of even the stuff that's on the inside. We can't, because that's what's guiding us to the next step of expression and freedom. And so 2 courageous experiences of that. Thank you for sharing that. All right, one more? Anybody else? I feel like there's somebody else who wants to say something. Yeah, I knew it in the back. There you go. You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I have had this huge loss of connection from church, from childhood, and I'm just really grateful for this community and that there's an opportunity and a space for this. So there's a little fear coming up too right now. So thanks for allowing that. I'm just really grateful. So thank you, and thank you, Cole, for inviting me to come tonight. So I appreciate it.
Great, thanks. Welcome. Okay. This is so fun. This is the most fun part, I think. I love this part of the service. Okay, so now I got to see what I do next. All right. I have my cheat sheets. Okay, no, I say thank you first. I get to say thank you to everybody. And I love to do that. First, I want to say thank you to Ed Reeves, making me sound so good, and Tim, making me look so good online. Thank you very much. And I want to honor Ginny, our coordinator. Ginny, the most amazing practitioner and fabulous coordinator. Thank you for putting this all together. And to my, like I said, partner in crime, please don't talk about our fun experiences, but Linda Light, who's traveled the world with me, phenomenal practitioner, and to Ellen Rice, who has been sitting holding vigil, holding light for us. And so just to let you know that the two of them will be available for prayer in the chapel after service. We never want you to leave this church, this service, with anything heavy on your heart. If there's something that's been brought up tonight, and even if you're feeling, like you can handle it, go see a practitioner, get a prayer. It opens the door. It allows Spirit to show up, and please let us love you and serve you. And so our practitioners, I want to thank them both. And my hometown boy, Jim Bianchi, born in the same town. And our first-time guest, Cole. Thank you. You're amazing. They're going to love you. That's great. Thank you for joining us. It's really wonderful to meet you. And Christina Veronica, thank you. Stand up. Come on, stand up. Get some love. Isn't she wonderful? I do really want to call you Vicky Cristina Barcelona, though, but Christina Veronica. It's taken me everything I have not to say that, so I just have to say that. Okay, and so one more thing, our practitioner, and thank you, each person, for coming and for being part of tonight. It's been such an honor to be able to come and serve and spend some time with you. There is an announcement that they asked me to make that there's a woman who is wanting to come to the Wednesday night service from Oceanside who does not have a ride. And so if there's anyone coming from up there, our practitioner, Ellen, who is holding light, is the one to see. So if anybody's coming from Oceanside and you may be able to support someone else in coming and having this experience, please see her after service. And so I guess we end with a singing prayer, right?
That is correct.
I guess that's it. Great. Thank you all, and we'll visit after. I love this.
Yeah, please stand up and sing along with us. This is our prayer,
a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see, with open hearts and open hands. We lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see, with open hearts and open hands. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christina. Listen to the mandolin rain Listen to my heartbreak every time it runs away. Listen to the banjo wind, sad song drifting low. Listen to the tears roll down my face and it turns to gold. Meet you in the falling rain, mama. Meet you in the falling rain. Meet you in the falling rain, mama. Meet you in the falling rain. Meet you in the falling rain, mama. Meet you in the falling rain. Meet you in the falling rain, mama. Meet you in the falling rain.